You are about to hear Color, Communism, and Common Sense by Manning Johnson, narrated by Darnel Stone. Preface. In modern literature, anti-communists are generally pictured as scoundrels. On the other hand, left-wing perjurers and jailbirds are shown as persecuted lambs. But there is a special vitriol uncorked for those who have followed communism and have repented to such an extent that they are publicly willing to stand up and testify against it by word and deed. The writer of this pamphlet, Manning Johnson, is an example of such treatment. The Supreme Court of the United States used a communist statement in a decision of the majority opinion as delivered by Justice Felix Frankfurter to brand Manning Johnson as giving tainted testimony and cited as a basis for this statement the Communist Party brief. The left-wing papers, including the New York Herald Tribune, joyfully took up the cry. Of course, careful investigation shows that Manning Johnson is not a perjurer, and it would be easy to prove this in any court not dominated by such a character as Felix Frankfurter. Manning Johnson's story begins very much like many of the Negroes brought up in a religious home. He was inducted into the party largely because of the preachings of a communist bishop, retired, of the Episcopal Church, William Montgomery Brown. Manning Johnson is a man of ability and education, and felt himself frustrated by his race and color, and fell under the spell of the communist propaganda. The communists, however, reckoned without understanding that the man they had enlisted in their cause had, for them, certain dangerous qualities. He had a Christian upbringing, he was intelligent, and he had courage. His Christian upbringing made him revolt at the obscene immorality of the Communist Party and its members. His intelligence made him see through the stupidity of the communist doctrine and see that he could strive to be a first-class Negro instead of an imitation of a third-class white man. His courage made him willing to confess his sins in public and try to expiate them. It is for this last quality that the Frankfurter Supreme Court and left-wing press can never forgive him. I hope you'll read Manning Johnson's pamphlet carefully. If you do, you will understand how the communists have used and are using certain American Negroes to the detriment of all Americans, white or black. You will read the story of one Negro who has gone through the fire and come out tempered steel. July 22, 1958, Archibald B. Roosevelt, President, The Alliance, Incorporated. Chapter 1. In the Web. 10 years I labored in the cause of communism. I was a dedicated comrade. All my talents and efforts were zealously used to bring about the triumph of communism in America and throughout the world. To me, the end of capitalism would mark the beginning of an interminable period of plenty, peace, prosperity, and universal comradeship. All racial and class differences and conflicts would end forever after the liquidation of the capitalists, their government, and their supporters. A world union of Soviet states under the hegemony of Russia would free and lead mankind on to utopia. Being an idealist, I was sold this bill of goods by a Negro graduate of the Lenin Institute in Moscow. The color of one's skin is no bar to a young man or woman dreaming of making a better world. Like other Negroes, I experienced and saw many injustices and inequities around me based upon color, not ability. I was told that the decadent capitalist system is responsible, that mass pressure could force concessions, but that just prolongs the life of capitalism, that I must unite and work with all those who more or less agree that capitalism must go. Little did I realize until I was deeply enmeshed in the red conspiracy that just in seeming grievances are exploited to transform idealism into a cold and ruthless weapon against the capitalist system, that this is the end toward which all the communist efforts among Negroes are directed. Indeed, I had entered the red conspiracy in the vain belief that it was the way to a new, better, and superior world system of society. 10 years later, thoroughly disillusioned,
Sample complete. Ready to continue?